Hello Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading. Welcome to my tarot channel. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something, to maybe better yourself. If the messages that come through do not resonate for you, please do push them aside. Assume that they're going out to someone else who needs to hear them or see them. And they may just resonate for you at a future time or date. So again, be open to that. Remember, you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, and an energy check-in. That being said, we are setting the intention here and now to get Libra some clear, helpful, insightful messages wherever they are at on their spiritual journey right now. All right, Libra, let's do it. Let's do it. I hope you guys are doing well. What's up? What's up, Libra? How you doing? All right, what's coming up in the past for Libra? The Five of Swords. All right, so a little bit of confusion. I heard the word bravado. There may be an energy around you that's being a little bit cocky, or I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about this Five of Swords. Like, I think it might be someone that you're kind of romantically interested in, but you're not sure if they're mature enough. Like maybe they play some games. What's the deal with that? The Hermit. Yeah, so it's almost like, I don't know if I'd say hot and cold with sword energy, but I would say like on and off, like chatty and kind of flirty, and then kind of goes away into hermit mode. And you're like, well, that was interesting. Like, where are they now? I don't know if they've ghosted you. It doesn't have to be that, but Hermit card, it sort of indicates a period of solitude. So maybe that's you, maybe that's representing them. I mean, maybe it's the both of you. And this doesn't have to be a love reading, but you know. We'll see what's up. So the Five of Swords to the Hermit. Someone isn't really clear about something, and so they had to walk away to essentially, shed some light on the situation, reflect, to ponder, etc. All right, so let's see. I just heard it's like you thought your ships were coming in. Like you were really hopeful that this was the one, or this was the offer, or the opportunity. Let's see. So if that's coming up in the past, where is Libra now in the present then? Where does that leave them? The Four of Swords. All right, so the Four of Swords isn't a bad card, but it is about sort of rest. It's more like a contemplative, meditative card. It's important not to get lost in our head, but just to kind of process the information from a more objective standpoint. Like, okay, this is what has transpired, right? This is what I know, and so this is what I can act on, essentially, or not act on, right? I think it's very much like just calling it what it is, and there's sort of an acceptance. And also with the Four of Swords, there is sort of this idea of being thankful for things that didn't work out, because ultimately it's gotten you to where you are today. So sometimes it's like rejection is divine protection. And for some of you, that might be the case. It could be that you connected with a karmic, and everybody gets stuck in their head like, oh my God, what if they're the one? I don't want to miss out on the opportunity. And do they think I'm mad at them? And should I have said that? And blah, blah, blah. That's not really the Four of Swords. I don't necessarily see you doing that, but I think the Four of Swords, there's like a peace in knowing like you're never going to miss out on anything that's really meant for you. Like if it's meant to be yours, the universe will find a way to get you guys to collaborate again, but you sort of have to put some faith, in the divine, in something above, in the higher power. And it is a Jupiter card, so I think this card does speak a lot to having faith, and understanding what you can control and what you can't. And what is that, like the serenity prayer? It's like, give me the strength to know what, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's like to know what I have control over and what I don't, and to release. Yeah, anyway, I completely botched that, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. This may involve a Virgo. It certainly doesn't have to. That Hermit card can sometimes indicate Virgo energy, but it can also indicate like student energy in terms of sort of immersing yourself in a new sort of spiritual path, a spiritual awakening, something like that. So some of you may literally be taking time out to study. And of course, the Hermit card just indicates maybe a period of rest, which you have twice here, a period of solitude, maybe, taking a break, taking a seat on the bleachers for a round or two. But I think you're still thinking about this. Let's see. The initials D may be significant. I don't know. Dan, David, Donna, Darcy. Who knows? Anyway, moving on. All right, so emotionally, where is Libra at, please? Emotionally, the World. So I think you've come to some sort of higher conclusion about this. It's not to say you're like out of the woods entirely, but I think you're starting to see things from a higher perspective and see things as they are, not as you wish or want them to be. It's not falling in love with people's potential. It's understanding that okay, this is what they're offering me, or this is their behavior, this is like their habits, their patterns, and so I'm going to assume that that's probably an early indicator or a peek into what's to come if I were to get more involved with this person, this situation. I do think there's a Taurus that's checking you out, Libra. I also think there's a Capricorn that might be interested in you. It's funny I said Taurus, but actually what I meant to say was Aquarius. Interesting. But I'm going to stick with it because that's what came out. So emotionally, I think part of you thinks there's something that's a little bit too constrictive about this, or that, and I mean this in a positive way, it's like you're kind of above this. I think you're a little bit too mature for this. Like, the world indicates that you've completed a major cycle in your journey thus far, and so it almost feels like to go back to something like this would maybe kind of not diminish your value, but it might not be worth your time, and I think you know it. But I mean, certainly the temptation was there. You could be connecting with people that you've met online as well. There could be some sort of recognition going on at work or even in your family. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but I'm sort of getting recognition from family. I don't know what that is, but that may or may not be related to this. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of what's coming up in your emotions, you have the World. It's Saturn energy. So it's the happy, if you can believe it, there's a happy side of Saturn. No, it's the happier side of Saturn. And I say that meaning that you've completed something major where you have had to go through a lot of maybe struggle and challenge, and you've reaped the reward at the end. That's sort of the happily ever after of Saturn is like, you have to earn it, quote unquote, whatever it is. So you've been through trials and tribulations, and now you're starting to see, wow, like I have been through some stuff, and it's made me stronger. It's made me able to endure, right? So I think you're looking back on your life, your relationships, and there is kind of like this, yeah, like been there, done that, and like I'm kind of above it. So you might not be wanting to circle back to something that it just doesn't seem like it's worth your time, or again, Saturn energy, you may feel like you're doing all the work to make this connection alive and thriving, and I don't know, you get someone who's like, I don't think hot and cold is an appropriate term, but more or less it's like in and out, off and on. Yeah. So what is Libra thinking then about this connection? What is in their plans, their ambitions, the mental sector? What's going on in the mind for Libra? The King of Cups. All right, so you might be thinking about a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You may connect with a new water sign as well, like a new person who comes in as a king, not as a Five of Swords, right? Which that energy is much more high vibrational. I also think too, not for nothing, like this feels like you recognizing that the fact that you're able to see this immediately and recognize the red flags and honor them for what they are, and not immediately sort of disregard them or bury them or sweep something under the rug. Just that in itself, it's showing huge progress and growth for you. And I think there's a little bit of like a happy dance for you. There's a little bit of a celebration of like, this could have been a trigger for me. 5 years ago, this would have been something I was crying about and journaling about and, going to psychic readings about. And now I'm just kind of like, yeah, no, like I know their MO. Like, I mean, they're cute, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, like they got to show up for me and they're not doing that. So there's nothing there for me right now. Like it's just very matter of fact. And I think I honestly think this is you, but I think it's also like the universe, your spirit guides being like, yeah, Libra, like way to lean into that like self-esteem and self-love, and like we got something better for you. So thanks, thanks for not taking the bait, essentially, right? With this kind of, I don't want to say devil energy, but more or less it's like shadow stuff, like stuff that maybe used to hold you back or trip you up in the past. That is no longer the case. And so some of you are feeling that too. It could be that you're not necessarily with this person anymore, but you've done the whole, detach, spiritual journey, hit reset, honor and love myself. I'm the leading lady or the leading man of my life, that kind of energy. And like, you're in the flow, And so some of you are like, so where's my person then? Cause like, I feel it, I sense it, like psychically, it feels like I'm due for something good here. And I think you're right. I think you are. But just because you see it doesn't mean it's not coming in. So keep your vibe high. So what is holding Libra back, if anything? What is holding Libra back? The Star card. So I think it's sort of reiterating what we said a little bit. For some of you, you may still be knee deep in this where you're trying to maybe disconnect from something that didn't honor and respect you. Others of you have completely put it down and you're like, okay, I made it to the finish line of that situation. Now I'm ready for the next thing. Where is it? So there's two different storylines, or maybe not two different storylines. I think it's the same storyline. You're at a different place in time though, if that makes sense. Like you're at a different goalpost or you know what I'm trying to say. Let's see. So, for some of you, there could be an Aquarius. And we did mention that earlier. It's something about this card. It's like these two are looking at each other, and there's like their eyes are locked in this, I don't know, or their arms are in this embrace or whatever. But I'm wondering if Aquarius is coming up in the what's holding you back. And then maybe there's multiple ones involved, guys, right? I don't know. For some of you, fellow air sign, that wouldn't surprise me, right? Some of you may really still have intense feelings for an Aquarius, and it's just not going anywhere at the present. What can I tell Libra if that's the case? The Ace of Pentacles. I think you're kind of sort of being told to start new. Hold on. Ace of Pentacles to the Death card. Yeah, an offer was made and then it didn't go anywhere with an Aquarius. And then Knight of Pentacles. But okay, so here's the thing. They're probably going to come back around. Are they going to come back around to change different person? Emperor to the Ten of Pentacles. It's possible. Actually, I mean, I was about to assume that the answer was no. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. There could be some fickle energy here of people figuring out what they want. So yeah, I mean, what's holding you back presently is possibly an Aquarius. If that's your storyline, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying never. I'm saying not now. And so I think as you have been doing in theory with the Four of Swords, you need to be very rational about it. If you can still maintain a friendship or do a friends with benefits, if that's what you even want, right? Possibly that person's going to come back around and do that. But I think the universe is trying to, if and when they do come back into your life, it's like they're trying to like soup them up into Emperor mode so that they're not coming off as Five of Swords, like, indifferent or difficult, or I don't know what I want, or I'm still stuck on my ex, but I love Libra too. And like that kind of wishy-washy stuff, it's not great, right? So I think the universe is trying to, have them sit on the bleachers, have them take an inning on the bench so that they can kind of get their stuff together and figure out what they want. And so I think they're in hermit mode too. I think they're going down their own spiritual path. And like, it's not to say you guys won't collaborate again in some capacity. But if, again, like, putting all your eggs in one basket, I think the universe is asking you to have faith that there's other options out there. And by the time this person comes around again, it's possible that you may have already connected with someone who's more in alignment with what you want, right? That being said, and I don't think most of you would, being a Libra, you don't have to burn a bridge here. You don't have to be like, I'm never talking to them again. I'm blocking them from my phone because here's the thing. If you do that, I think you're going to regret it because I don't think you're fully there yet. So I don't want you to spin through the agony of why did I block them and delete their number and now I don't don't do that. Just be like, all right, I'm pushing pause, but I am absolutely holding myself accountable to keep moving forward and quote unquote graduate from this cycle with them. And if they happen to reappear in the next chapter of my life, in the next cycle, a changed person, then yeah, cool. Let's break bread. Let's have some happy times. But yeah, it seems kind of meh. If you're not stuck on an Aquarius, the same message still stands. It's like knowing that you need to put something or someone down, but having a little bit of a hard time doing it. Some sentimentality, like leaning into the good stuff. But I'm hearing the word draining. So there was something about this connection for you where you were giving it a lot and not getting enough back. And so it's like you're tapped out. That's probably why you're being asked to take a rest here or some time for healing, because it's like you just got nothing else to give, I feel like I'm going to call you Aquarius because the Aquarius energy is so strong in this now. All right, so let's see. What is the advice or guidance for my Libras? What will help them move forward, find their willpower, action to take, what they need to embrace? For Libra, please. The Ace of Swords. All right. Empowerment. Being your biggest champion. Being your own cheerleader. I like the Ace of Swords. Any ace in tarot is a blessing. And with the swords, it has to do with our communication and our mind, the things we're telling ourselves, the communication we're picking up on. I think it's about speaking your truth. I think it's about asking for what you want. I think it's about leaning into honesty. And sort of, I'm hearing like claiming new territory, or maybe it's drawing healthier boundaries. Maybe figuring out what this is, again, presently, and operating on that and sticking to it so that there is kind of this, okay, I know how I'm going to approach this now. I think it's clarity. And so sometimes we get clarity from people that we need it from, and sometimes we don't, but it's like we're still accountable to find clarity for ourselves so that we can either move on or make amends or whatever this is. So is this a conversation? Can we clarify the Ace of Swords here for Libra? One more on this Ace of Swords with the Seven of Swords. All right. So my gut reaction to this is eight. I'm always wanting to add them. Like you have the Seven of Swords, which is the person who's kind of like in and out, Moon in Aquarius, like indecision land, sort of. And then you kind of add the one to it, and it becomes the Eight of Swords. It becomes like a mental trap. So I think this is about liberating yourself from what is a very fickle situation where you can get kind of lost in your head about the details. Like, well, he said that, but he did this. And then, his actions don't match his words. But, when he texts me, he seems to really like me. But then when we meet up, he's kind of like, he's very distracted. Like, there's a lot of that kind of energy here. And so I think you got to take care of you. Again, you're the priority here in your own life. And so if it's doing damaging things to yourself, liberation. Like, and I'm saying that because the 7 and the 1, it's like the Eight of Swords energy, the mental prison, needing to, any eights are about liberation, freedom, forward movement, progress, quote unquote, moving on in any sense of the word. I think this is also an acknowledgement of things or actions this person has taken, things they have done, things they've said, that is very Seven of Swords energy. There's like a little bit of fog or confusion or shadow or clandestine or sneaky, or like they said, it's like they said they've been single for a year, but then, they also kind of sort of said that they were dating this person 3 months ago. So it's like, what does that? So I also think there's like an acknowledgement of truth, an acknowledgement of maybe people not being forward with the truth, or again, trying to like pull the wool over your eyes a little bit. So I wouldn't typically do this, but I'm just curious, like in terms of like spirit, if you're guiding this reading, what is it like? Do you approve of this person for Libra? I mean, they have tricky ass cards. For sure. Like, I don't know. Can I just get the general vibe of this thing going on? Anything else we can know about them? Because I don't know why it's coming up in terms of like action you need to take. I think maybe with the Ace of Swords, it could be cutting out, like the removal. It's a tool of war, right? It's a weapon. Removing any people who like shady behavior. I could see that. Some of you may literally know that this person has I know this sounds intense, but almost like a criminal record, especially to do with like petty theft and like, I'm not saying like crazy amounts of stuff, but they may have alluded to something or flat out said something that like, they had to do 6 months of this or community service, or I don't know. There's definitely a weird energy with that. Libra, why are you falling for this person? You're like, because they're sexy. You have no idea they're so sexy. All right, the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I mean, y'all, look at her face. That she does not look like this relationship brings her peace. There may kind of be sort of a sudden awakening where, and I mean this in the kindest, most sympathetic way. Like, I get it though too. Like, I'm not knocking you. I'm not making fun of you. Emotions are complicated. The heart is complicated. I do think for some of you, there's going to be an awakening. If it hasn't happened already, and for some of you it has, you're like, why was I with this person? It's almost like you do sort of the self-reflection or this assessment, and you're kind of like, like I'm kind of not disgusted with myself, because it's not about shaming yourself. I think you need to offer compassion to yourself, but I just think you kind of check yourself a little bit and like, what am I even doing? You just have this moment of like, why am I here right now with this person? Or like, how did I get here? I think that's what this is. This Ace of Swords, it's like an epiphany in your own mind. Something occurring where it's like, again, like, I don't want to use the word blocking literally, which, I mean, you certainly can do, it's your life, but it's almost like this, why was I blocking my blessings to try and win the approval of someone who was never certain about me, when there's things out there that are so much better for me if I had only sort of not been in this lackluster mentality or poverty mindset of I'm going to take anything I can get because I'm unlovable. It's like, no, like, I know what I bring to the table. I have a lot to offer. So like, I'm not settling for peanuts anymore. I think you're above that. And I think there's a really cool kind of, you have your own awakening about, okay, areas where you've self-sabotaged. That's what the Seven of Swords can be. Totally. And so I'm going to put this out there for you too, Libra. Is it possible that you may have multiple suitors? And I'm not saying hardcore pursuing you, but, in your realm, in your network, in your area, maybe there's been a flirt or two or a text or two, but nothing really transpired. I'm almost operating under the idea that you may actually have another suitor that's already kind of sort of in your life or coming in very soon. And it's like when you weigh the two up, you're like, I couldn't even fathom settling for this when I know that this is available. I like this King of Cups. I think it's awesome. It could be a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer maybe. Okay. Hopes, dreams, and wishes. I think this is what this is. I think this is recognizing self-sabotaging ways. Any 7 is about assessment. I think this is about self-assessment in where you need to show up better for yourself. And essentially, you inform the world, the people, your family, your lovers, how you should be treated. And so when you settle for less, people assume that they can treat you like crap, And I'm sorry, I know that's like a really harsh way of putting it, but somebody, it's like you need that like push, and like you need to be better to yourself. Don't settle for breadcrumbs, man. You're so much better than that. Hopes, dreams, wishes. What is Libra hoping to get out of this? Hopes, dreams, wishes. Hopes, dreams, wishes. Future plans. 5 of Pentacles. I think you're hoping that someone comes out from the cold. I think you're hoping someone rushes into your arms after they've been, after they've been elsewhere. The 9 of Swords. Yeah, interesting cards for hopes, dreams, and wishes, because they're not the most high vibe ones. Okay, I think you are in the process of trying to establish a healthier boundary with someone who has left you feeling isolated or out in the cold. This is not the typical depiction of the 9 of Wands. And so I think it's like, again, as we said, like drawing a line in the sand or operating under a sort of new mentality of how much time and energy you can give to this. But here's the thing, though. Did I say 9 of Wands? It's 9 of Swords. Sorry. I think you want to rid yourself of anxiety or maybe not anxiety, but the constant thoughts of this person or this person kind of intruding on your life, on your plans, on your thoughts. It's like 5 of Pentacles, you're deserving of more, and something about this feels very like there's an energetic tie. It's like you guys are tethered. It definitely feels karmic. I'll give you that. It feels like you guys are both meant to learn something from this connection. But again, it has a lot more to do with like lack mentality or leaning into a more abundant mindset of like, I am great and I am wonderful and I am abundant. And so therefore I'm going to attract those things into my life versus, maybe lacking confidence or having self-doubts or lacking self-love. Then you attract people who mirror that back to you. I think it's like you just want to, it's like you want to, what is that movie? All I can hear is Total Eclipse of the Heart. That's not what I'm trying to say. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's like you kind of wish you could do that with this person. Like, I wish I never met them. It would be so easy if I could just remove the memory and I could move on. But it's like, even though I know the facts and I know things to be true and I know their behavior and I know how they treat me, I'm still thinking about it. Like, I get that. It's frustrating. It's like you want to remove that so that it's no longer keeping you down. Because here's the thing, it's keeping your vibe down, and so it's going to be harder to manifest with that energy around you. So you got to cut the cord. You got to do some energetic cutting. What is the outcome? Let's do it with this, and then we'll do it with whatever this high vibe stuff is. With this 5 of Swords Hermit energy, the on again, off again. Again, I'm not saying they're a bad person, but like there's some stuff going on. And here's the thing, I don't think you're stupid, Libra. I don't think you're blind to it. I don't think you're unaware of it. I think that a lot of it is like you're seeing it play out in front of you, and it's just like, well, this kind of contradicts what I thought. So what's the vibe there? And I don't really know. Let's see. What is the vibe? The Chariot. All right, so the Chariot is a card of victory, but is it a victory because you're moving forward with them, or is it a victory because you're deciding to move on? I think it's almost like the kingdom or the castle you've built with them, quote unquote, right? What you guys have created together, even if that's small or minute. I do think you're moving away from it, if I'm being honest. There could be a Cancer involved here that is coming into your life. That might be King of Cups energy. Honestly, I think it's moving on with your life. The 10 of Wands. Yeah, you're putting down what doesn't serve you anymore. You're realizing the error in your ways in which you were doing all the slave labor, all the heavy intensive work to make this relationship go, or to quite literally get it off the ground, right? Yeah, it's like Saturn and Sagittarius. It's like, this is a relationship, man. Like, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be the person you come home to and you feel amazing with. And if it's not feeling that way, it might just not be worth your time and effort. And so I think you're moving on to find something happier. And I do think the Chariot is a huge card of self-empowerment. So yeah, I think, again, you can do what you want with this, but I think for the time being, you're pretty much like, okay, I get that this isn't good for me. Like, the warning signs, the indications that are here, the universe is looking out for me. So I'm going to have faith that there's something better. I'm going to trust that maybe this wasn't the one, but it was a connection that helped, it was a stepping stone. It's getting you to the next place, but it's not the landing spot, right? It's not the end game. And then in terms of something new coming in, or possibly, how do I want to phrase this? I'm not sure how brand new this is. I almost get the idea that this person is around you. Like, maybe you work with them, maybe you see them at the coffee shop, maybe, whatever it is. It's like, could be a friend of a friend or a family friend that you kind of know. I don't know. Whatever this King of Cups is, it's high vibe. What's the deal with that? The Hangman in reverse. Yeah, so it's still cooking. It's still marinating. The offer isn't quite there yet, but this person dreams about you. They definitely think about you. They think about, the upside down forward. It's like they want stability in a relationship. And so they're not going to rush into it and try and establish some sort of relationship when you or they're not in a good spot to create together, essentially. But I like that because it denotes like some sort of responsibility or a good moral code, some good ethics, or they're not going to rush in knowing that you're going through a divorce or that you're going through a breakup. They're going to take some time to let you heal and come in when the time is right. Again, Pisces energy for some of you. And then the Seven of Cups. Yeah, you have options that you don't even realize yet. For some of you, there could be some options online as well. Again, I would encourage you to take some time to rest and heal so that you're coming into this, fresh and ready with a full cup of love, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. And also so that you don't end up hurting someone else because you're kind of hurting too. I think that's really important. And honestly, guys, in my humble opinion, half the people on dating apps are heartbroken and hurt and not in a good place to be dating. But it's that quick. Like, I just want to meet somebody new to get over my ex. And like, that's why it's a battlefield. Like, some people have great success on dating apps, and like a lot of my friends have found like their long-term person, like gotten married off of dating apps. I'm not hating on them, but you do have to weed out the options because they're not all coming in as high vibe people. Again, I would say it's about 50-50. I think half of them are like very broken and need healing. I just think that's a reality of the situation. So don't be that person, right? Be the difference. Be the person on the dating apps who's the damn catch. Because here's the thing. I think this King of Cups is you too, male or female. I think you're coming in with a lot of love to give. It's possible that you just kind of need to have better boundaries or need to insist upon relationships that have better equal give and take, people who don't keep secrets, people who know what they want. I think you can only entertain good offers at this point because you don't have time for anything else, right? Why go through the hassle of it all? I think you have multiple options coming in. You may have to wait a little bit of Hangman energy. It's not saying it's arriving soon, but I'd say in the next month or two. Yeah, for sure. And then Six of Wands. Yeah, I like that vibe much better. Possibly something with a Leo. All right, let's throw some zodiac signs on this. Zodiac signs that want to come out in this reading. I'm liking the water signs for you right now. Look at that. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Y'all dealing with a Pisces? And then Gemini. Let's roll two more. Whoa. Sagittarius. And Virgo. All right. Last but not least, let's get Libra, an oracle card. I feel like this has been a long reading, hasn't it? I always say that. I have trouble doing short readings. I'm very in awe of tarot readers who can read fast and quick. I wish that was me. It's just not how I do it. Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery. That makes me think of that Bleachers song. What is it? Your love, love, love is still a mystery. I love that song. Bleachers. That's so funny. We were talking about taking a seat on the bleachers. Stop it, Libra. You should probably look up that song. I'm not saying it's going to change your life. Bleachers. I think it's called Mystery or Your Love is a Mystery. Something about that. There might be a message in there for you. Go listen to it. Oh, if I could only find the page. You guys, the struggle is real. We got it. We're good. Okay, life is a mystery. The bobcat moves furtively and mysteriously. When bobcat spirit appears to you, she brings a powerful reminder that not all things in life can be explained or understood through the power of intellect. Trying to figure things out, find logical explanations, or predict what has happened based on reason and fact will not provide you with the certainty and comfort you seek. Bobcat asks you to trust in the great mystery and let secrets of the universe reveal themselves to you through direct experience. Allow your vision to slip into soft focus. That's very Piscean energy, hangman energy. Allow your vision to slip into soft focus, and you will see between the lines and observe what has been hidden there all along. Bobcat spirit helps you know intimately the pulse of the divine world. Trust in wisdom and revelations that will come to you, yet know that understanding may not come to you as you would like it to. What you experience through your heart and intuition, which comes to you as the voice of your inner knowing, will guide you now as you accept the secrecy that is woven into the fabric of existence. No matter what the appearance of Bobcat spirit is, a sign that you are, no matter what, the appearance of Bobcat spirit is a sign that you are being called to trust, even when even what is revealed does not agree with your need for intellectual certainty. Blah, blah, blah. I'm tripping over my words. Sorry about that. Card number 8, again, also makes me think of Leo strength energy. It's about finding kind of like your willpower to move on and to create the life of your dreams, right? Not necessarily build your dream life around other people, especially knowing their actions. All right, that's what I got for you, Libra. I'm trying to grow my channel, so please do like the video. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you want us to meet again. Tell your friends and book a personal reading and all those good things. Otherwise, I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.